Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and it's day 21 of my book of Ween. I will be doing thrillers I haven't seen before. There's actually a lot of good thrillers I haven't heard before, so I thought I would share them anyways. A lot of these are from last year and keep going down. And from previous years, so let's see what they are. So there is a book actually called Hunted by Darcy Goat. I actually guessed a book title called Hunted by just a book based on summary, which you guys will see the video in like 2 days, so you'll understand more, but what are the odds of seeing this book? So my first book is Hunted by Darcy Goat. She only went off the trail for a moment. 22-year-old Eileen goes missing while hiking in a remote Ashland forest. 5 days later, her camera is discovered washed down the river, containing bizarre photos taken after her disappearance. Chris wants to believe Eileen is still alive. When the police searches abandoned, he and 4 of his friends create their own search party to discover the mountain range. As they stray further from the hiking trails and the unsettling discoveries mount, they begin to believe they are not alone in the forest and that Eileen's disappearance wasn't an accident. By that point, it's too late to escape. My next book is Grey After Dark by Noel W. Healy. A merciless wilderness, a harrowing attack, a desperate escape. When a tragic accident sidelines Miles' dreams of Olympic gold, she takes a summer job at a mountain guest lodge. The Frank Church wilderness is remote, but it's the perfect place to train and recover. Local lore about a staffer who died years ago and doesn't scare her, but it should. Miles' plans take a terrifying detour when she is abducted during a morning run. Held captive in a desolate off-grid cabin, she will have to use her athletic prowess, cunning mind, and courage to survive. But as the nightmare in the cabin escalates, Miley is forced to form an unlikely alliance and attempt a risky escape. Can she outwit her captors and survive the wilderness before it's too late? My next book is The Woman in the Cabin by Becca Day. Deep in the woods, you can hide more than secrets. Every day in a remote cabin hidden deep in the woods in the Scottish Highlands, Mary wakes up before dawn to make breakfast from scratch. She tends the garden and feeds the animals every night. Mary makes sure she has dinner on the table when her husband Carol gets home from work. She puts on his favorite lipstick and greets him with a smile. "I missed you. It's not true," and he knows it, but he likes to hear it all the same. Mary is the perfect wife, and like any good wife, she knows her job is to keep her husband happy. But lately, as she noticed her first wrinkles appear, she can sense Carl change. A scowl at dinner, not being ready on time, a too tight grip as he leads her to the bedroom, tells her he's noticed too, and old memories are coming back to her awful life before the cabin. Then she finds a stack of letters hidden underneath the floorboards, detailing a life eerily similar to her own. They're addressed to her, to the next woman. My next book is The Last Trip by Christian Wonderglin. One last trip before the baby gets here, that's all the getaway is meant to be. Then the guests arrive. When Calvin and Sadie decide to spend their baby moon in a remote cabin in the snowy mountains before their first child is due, it's supposed to be a chance for them to connect, relax, and celebrate the future. Before the vacation even gets started, shocking news leaves the group reeling. To make matters worse, the arrival at the rental is marked by strange behavior from the homeowners, and Sadie can shake the paranoia that she's being watched. When another revelation comes to light, that's so I had to delete some of the previous months, so basically from after April, because apparently my SD card was full, so can you tell I've been filming a lot? But anyways, let's continue The Last Trip. I gotta have an idea as to where I left off. When another revelation comes to light that's so distressing and cracks the stable foundation Calvin and Sadie once stood on, everything changes. My next book is Last One Out by Steph Nelson. Chloe Webster is supposed to be dead. She vanished 25 years ago, the night her two friends were brutally murdered at an isolated hot springs. At least that's what everyone believes. Everyone except her cousin Frankie, who never lost hope that Chloe was alive. When Chloe unexpectedly shows up at her own annual memorial event, Frankie is overjoyed. But this isn't the reunion she imagined. Chloe has no memory of that night in 1999, or her life before. Then Frankie starts getting cryptic messages that imply Chloe knows more than she's letting on. Frankie wants to trust her cousin, but even more she wants answers to the questions that have plagued her for decades. But is the truth really worth uncovering at any cost? My next book is Where No One Can Hear You by J.E. Romney. Sometimes silence is more terrifying than screams. 16-year-old Amanda Gray's life shatters when what should have been a simple walk from home with her best friend Sarah turns into a nightmare. One moment they're picking bluebirds in the woods, the next they're at the mercy of a predator who seems chillingly familiar with his routine. 6 weeks later, Amanda wakes in a hospital bed with a slash across her throat, her voice stolen, and no memory of how she escaped, and no one will talk to her about Sarah. And the worst part, her most crucial memory might be the one she can't speak. My next book is We Live Here Now by Sarah Pinborough. After an accident that nearly kills her, Emily and her husband Freddie move from London to a beautiful Dartmoor country house called Larkin Lodge. The house's gorgeous, striking, and to Emily something about it feels deeply wrong. Old boards creak at night, fires extinguished, and books fell from the shelves, all stemming from the terrible presence she feels in the third-floor room. But these things happen only when Emily is alone, so are they happening at all? She is still medically fragile. Her post-sepsis condition can cause hallucinatory side effects, which means she cannot fully trust her senses. Freddie does not notice anything odd and is happy with the chance at the fresh start. She, however, starts to believe the house is haunted by someone who had been burned in it, even though she can find no evidence of a wrongful death. As bizarre events pile up and her marriage starts to crumble, Emily becomes obsessed with discovering the truth about Larkin Lodge. But just as the house has secrets, so do Emily and her husband. My next book is Watcher of the Woods by Skylar Dawn Cameron. After 18 months staying home on the rolling pandemic lockdowns with her girlfriend Joy, author Clea Palmer has decided a strained relationship has run its course, and she's ready to end it. Right after the stress of her birthday has passed, unfortunately her surprise party comes with a special gift from Joy that puts the breakup on hold. A week-long cabin rental in the tiny northern Ontario community of Hope Falls for just the two of them. No phone, no internet, no contact with the outside world. Joy says it would give them the perfect chance to reconnect and maybe restore Thea's creativity after pandemic stress wearing down her desire to paint. But the cabin creaks at night under invisible steps, and the woods have trees that seems to shift in the corner of her eye. Thea swears she sees a strange white figure on the lake beckoning to her, and an empty boat that drifts by in the early morning mist. Joy seems to be becoming someone else entirely. My next book is Tag You're Dead by Catherine Foxfield. Teen social media influencer Anton Fraser stages a live stream citywide game of tag where the prize is to become one of his live-in personal assistants. His fans go wild, outfitted with body cams, GPS trackers, and pressure sensors to keep tally of who's disqualified. Contestants are spilled into chases and runners that let loose into the night uncovered urban jungle to hunt each other down, while the whole world watches. 4 contestants, however, have alternative motives for joining the game, secret reasons to want to win despite the risk, money, obsession, fame, and revenge. One of them will stop at nothing to be the victor at the end of this adrenaline and fear-filled night. My next book is Getting Away with Murder by Catherine Foxfield. A girl playing a game with supercomputer unwillingly traps her sister in a deadly escape room. When Southland is forced to do work experience at a tech company, she gets into an argument with her supervisor over which high school Terry Camp would survive the longest in a horror film. The sports star, the queen bee, the swat, the drama girl, the class clown, the rebel. Unbeknown to them, the AI robot she is working on at the time decides to determine the answers by testing it out for real. It designs an algorithm to search social media and school records to find the best examples of each stereotype from the neighboring towns, and the invitations go out. 6 people, including Southland's perfectionist sister Georgia, will be trapped in a series of deadly escape rooms, and only one will survive the night. My next book is We Were Warned by Chelsea Inchexco. All her life, Ada Stafford has heard the lore about the abandoned beach resort at the edge of town. Ever since the notorious murder there, anyone who sets foot on the property is cursed to die. It's more than just a story. Over the years, 2 high school students who dared to explore the ruins of Fairport Village were killed there. Eden is no stranger to notoriety, having endured a family scandal that made her a target at school. So when she reluctantly attends an overnight party at the ruins, she's on edge, not because of some legend, but because the clique that has made her life hell for years is there too, including Caleb Durham, the worst of them all. Yet out of all the things Eden expected to happen that night, finding another student dead at Fairport Village wasn't one of them. My next book is It's Only a Game by Kelsey Yu. When Marina Chan ran from her old life, she brought nothing with her, not even her real name. Now she lives in fear and for past being discovered, but when her online gaming teammates offered a tour of their favorite game company, Marina can't resist accepting, even though she knows it might put her fake identity at risk. Then the creator of the game is murdered during the tour. Whoever killed him plans to blame Marina and her friends for the murder, unless they win 4 rounds of a dangerous game. A game that requires them to lie, trespass, and steal. A game that could destroy everything Marina's worked so hard to build. A game that she might not survive. My next book is this book, Kills by Marina Goodon. I will make it clear from the start, I did not kill Hugh Henry Van Buren. I didn't even help. Well, not intentionally. All Jess Kohlhabi wants is to keep her head down, do her work, and make it through high school without any problems. As a scholarship student and one of only 2 students of Indian heritage, her future at the elite school depends on her ability to keep her low profile and spotless record. But when one of the most popular and richest kids in the school ends up dead in the exact same way as a character in the short story she wrote, Jess unintentionally finds herself at the center of the investigation, and then Jess receives an anonymous text thanking her for the inspiration. As women run rampant about whom the murderer could be, Jess knows if she doesn't solve this mystery herself, she will have something in common. She will finally have something in common with She'll Be Dead too. Wow, it suddenly is all over the mess. Why is no one proofreading these? Oh my god! This book definitely killed. My next one is The Party by Natasha Princeton. Are you invited? In the heart of the English countryside, a group of teenagers gather at the remote castle for a weekend of fun and games. But when the first of them dies, the party takes a deadly turn. As the body count rises, the remaining guests must race against time to uncover the killer's identity before they become the next victim. My next book is It's Behind You by Catherine Foxfield. Welcome to the reality game show that will scare you to death. Have you got what it takes to last night? 5 contestants must sit through the night in dark and dangerous Umber George caves, haunted by a ghost called the Pocket Maiden. But is it the marvelous spirit they should fear or each other? As the production group ramps up in the fights, secrets start to be revealed. These teenagers have hidden motives for taking part in It's Behind You, and could some of them be murdered? My next book is The Dare by Natasha Princeton. I triple dog dare you. As senior year comes to an end and senior pranks are just beginning, it all starts innocently enough. Molly and her friends on Atlas, Lucy, and Jessie egg houses, set chickens, flee on the quad, and fill the principal's office with glitter-filled balloons. But when Jessie accepts a deal to drive Danger Alley, a 10-mile stretch of winding road that's notorious for car wrecks, with no headlights, takes things a turn for the worst. Now the 4 friends are bound by a tragic accident and a dark secret that threatens their bright futures. My last book is We Did Nothing Wrong by Hannah Jane. Leah thought of the dark night of the broken street light. Had Diana gone out to meet her? Had she been waiting for her alone in the park? Or had someone been waiting for Diana? Leah and Diana are the it thoughts of Empire Hill High. The lives are perfect until Diana disappears and the rumors start flying. Everyone thinks Diana is a runaway, including the police. Leah is secretly convinced it's all a prank. Then she finds a crushed red rose tied with a candy cane ribbon when Diana went missing, and next to it, a U. It's the same ribbon Leah received on gifts from a secret admirer. And someone came from Diana that night, and will Leah be next? There's a word that totally missed, and next to it, A, and a U. What? But anyways, clearly the book did do something wrong. How is no one proofreading these? I don't get it. But anyways, those are all the books that I have missed from. Actually, some of them actually were from 2025. 2 of them were, and I'm going on previous years. So these are actually really good books. I kind of wish they had their time to shine, So I'm kind of want to check them out anyways, because I thought that would be really interesting. But yeah, let me know what books you have missed from previous years. And please like, comment, subscribe, so you know if I never time post. I will see you on my next one. Bye!